Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the second race of Global F1. We're here in Zandvoort for the second race of the season. The first Dutch Grand Prix in the history of the Racing Liga. Joining me, dear Sim, is my favorite co-commentator of the Racing Liga, Troik. Welcome. Leo, good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Let's go.
Yeah, we are
qualifying.
We are back from a very good first race and, of course, the outstanding Italian Grand Prix on Sunday. And now we are back with some more action, but now with Global F1. And we are racing, like I said, for the first time in Zandvoort, so this will be quite interesting. And Leo, what's your opinion about the circuit?
What's my what about the circuit?
Opinion.
I don't know. I know the track from the old spec, not the F1 changes, and the old one is better, but this one is quite good. But I like the old one more because there was no Steilkurve.
And yeah, that's correct. I made a mistake with the title. There stands F2. That's my mistake. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a little bit faster than F2.
Yeah, but I will change that in a couple of seconds. So maybe you can tell something about the circuit and things like that, and I will start changing the title. So give me a second.
Yeah, the circuit is pretty old, and it's between Van hills. I don't know if I can say that, and it's based in Netherlands. Yeah, that's all I know. Not very much. But everybody's racing at the moment is driving for at the moment for a good lap. And the first one is Alfa Romeo. Wrexham. I don't know if this is right, but it is a 1.8. And Kane Forbes is the second one. I don't know who is the third one. World Rally is the third one, and he puts his car on the third place. It's Cone on fourth. And Domi on third. I don't know how fast these laps are, but I think pretty fast. 1 minute, 8 seconds.
Alright, I'm back. Unfortunately, I can't change the title, but I hope someone of the admins can change it. So,
I think so.
Yeah, I think, and I hope so. So I don't know if it's a glitch only for my set, but I don't have any board on the left, which means I don't know which drivers we will see. That's a bit strange. Yeah, so that means I can... Ah, no, it's back. Okay, good. Alright, we have some lap times here. Wrexham did a 1.8.3. Kane Forbes did a 1... Wait, let me change that. He did a 1.8.6. Also Dummy.
There's a Ferrari spinning.
A Ferrari had crashed. Who was it? It was Maxi.
It's Maxi. He crashed. No time.
Oh my goodness.
He will be last.
Yeah, that's not a spot you want to crash. Obviously, this is a new track for everyone here, except for someone who is driving other games. For example, myself, I had my esports debut actually at this circuit right before it had the banking and things like that, but it was a race room, not F1. So, quite different, different type of game. So yeah. I know the circuit a lot better than most of the drivers, so sorry.
But that's I like this track, but without banking, it's so cool because the last corner is the banking is just going outside, not to the inside on the old track. That's crazy because you need to know this when you go into the last corner.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not the easiest circuit. It's a very short circuit and you need to nail each corner perfectly. So Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because, like I said, it's very new to the drivers, so we will see big difference in lap times probably. But yeah, we have Lars on his outlap and we're watching him on board now. Then you get the feeling of Zandvoort here. We have turn 1, he locked up a little bit. It's a right-hander. After that we have the short sprint into turn 1 and turn 3 and then turn 4, which is the first banked corner. And after that we have some very fast handers, right, left and then right again. This is a blind corner actually.
Well, this part of the track didn't change.
Yeah. We have a yellow flag again, but I think some drivers are stopping. And now we are now reaching into the final sector, and this is actually a DRS zone, one of the shortest, I believe. Or that I think that it's very short, to be honest. And then we have a kind of stadium section, to be honest. When I drove there for the first time, I was quite surprised that we have the standing ovations and things like that. And now we are at the final corner, the more famous banked corner. And Kern retired, actually. What's going on here? Last at a 1.8.9. But now we see, oh my goodness. So they had a terrible exit.
Then Christmas is on his fast lap, yeah.
Christmas, okay.
Yeah, and he goes to second place. Very good.
Interesting.
Very good.
And I think I managed to change the title into Global F1 Netherlands. Let's see. We have Liam, who will start now his flying lap, the founder of Global F1 and the second place driver in the last race. He finished right behind Domi. Yeah, I did it, I changed the title. Very good. So we are now Global F1 and not F2 again. Alright. Let's see, Liam is currently in third position, listed here.
Yeah.
So he did his lap and... Alright. I had an issue here, little issue, but now we are watching Goku, who is in the racing point. Let's see how he will do. Only 15 drivers today, so less than last week. Let's see, 48.5 second sector of Goku. He's now entering the penultimate corner and then the final turn with the banking here. And then we have the DRS straight. What Goku putting for lap time? Won't be a good lap time. It will be a 1.9.8. It's still a fast lap time, but he's not at the front. The other driver in the front is Sebel. Actually, he is... Oh, what's happened here? He is now in second place with a 1.8.3, so... Not by much.
Domi improved his lap time. He's on pole.
For the current moment, a 1.8.2.
Sector 1.
Okay, then we have the AlphaTauri, the current championship leader, who won the inaugural race last week. He's in the lead right now. But this could be very interesting here. So we have two cars out, which are Kern and Maxi. We have an AlphaTauri currently on pole, then an Alfa Romeo in second, a Red Bull in third, a McLaren in fourth, and then a Ferrari in fifth. Followed by a Renault, another AlphaTauri, then a Racing Point, a Mercedes, and another Renault. Then we have a Williams in 11th and a Haas in 12th position. So I think we have all 10 teams today on the grid, but not filled with every driver.
Yeah.
We have 5 drivers missing. Liam is driving out again. But IGK Guil managed to get himself up into P5 with 1.8.425, exactly 0.02 seconds slower than Caden Forbes. with one
Pretty
position.
good for the team championship. They are actual leading with 40 points, and they are the only one with 2 cars in the top 5.
Yeah, that was actually quite surprising. AlphaTauri with 2 cars on the podium, and they have a massive 21 points lead in the Constructors' Championship ahead of Ferrari. Then we have Renault with 12 points, Alfa Romeo with 10 points, then McLaren with 9, Williams with 8, and Mercedes with 4 points. Red Bull, Racing Point, and Haas are the only teams who didn't score any points in the last weekend.
Now Liam starts his new flying lap with a lock up in the first corner.
Let's watch the Ferrari driver on board. And he obviously will use the opportunity to maybe get the pole position. Driving very fast. One of the fastest drivers in the Racing Liga, and he obviously shows that. And Vexum snitched P1 with a 1.8.0, 2/10 faster than Domi. Now that's a lap time with 5 minutes to go. What can Liam do? I think he had the fastest lap time in the second sector, in the middle sector, and he's crossing the line, and it's only P6 for Liam, right ahead of Lars. That's actually not the pace I expected from Liam, to be honest. I think we expected him a little bit faster, but we still have 5 minutes left, so maybe he can improve on his lap time. I don't know. But Vexon currently in pole position. Let's see what Lars can do. He's on a very slow lap.
The Williams, Maruzeru on his fast lap. Let's see.
And he's crossing the line, and he is still 11th. He improved his lap time a bit, but not by much. Yeah, not by much. But yeah, still 4 minutes left. We have a Ferrari, then we have a Racing Point, which is Goku. So maybe he can improve. 0.1 seconds faster in the middle sector. And he's entering now final turn. What's he gonna do with his lap? It will be a bit slower. P13, he improved. Gained 1 position, but that's not, I think, what he expected. Then we have Domi. He improved actually to 108.1. So only the second driver below the 18.2. We have many drivers here in the first banked corner. Be careful, guys. Be very careful. Can have collisions easy here. Oko won't improve on his lap time. Marzero drives into the pits, and I think we don't see anyone on the fast lap currently.
No.
You see some drivers
only in or out lap.
Yeah. The first driver we will see with an outlap is World Rally in 1992 in the Racing Point. He's a reserve driver actually. And he is replacing Krakler. Who got a penalty for last race with a collision, and he isn't allowed to do the next qualifying. But he isn't driving this week, so maybe next week. Actually, I know the word now. He had the qualifying ban. That's what I meant. He had a qualifying ban and 2 penalty points for collision last week. And now World Rally 1992 is replacing him in the Racing Point. So let's see what World Rally can do.
Yeah, actual P9, pretty good for a reserve driver.
First sector, a little bit slower than his previous lap time. His previous lap time was a 1:8.6. Oh, lock up there. We have many yellow flags. That's not green again. Now he's entering the end of sector 2, which will be 47.7, which is also a little bit slower than his previous lap time. So he's very consistent with his lap time, but it's not enough to improve. So we need to gain all the time he lost in the last turns, and you saw that he was in a gravel for a little amount of time.
But it's not deleted, but
he's entering the pits now.
Yeah.
And now Wexham is crossing the start-finish line. Can he improve on his lap time? No, he can't.
No.
It will still be a 1:8.0. With many drivers putting in their fast lap times. Obviously, if you're driving out now, you won't have any time left doing your laps, so that means we'll see the penultimate or the final laps for many drivers. Oh, there was a collision there. Some driver
was a Mercedes off the track.
Mercedes.
And Guil is improving a little bit.
Yeah, it was Kurax who put himself up into the wall. And was already retired from the session. He was in the pit, so not a big surprise there. Oh, Renault's staying.
Oh.
It was Lars. Now Guil is getting
I think
to the start
Guil maybe can improve to 4th.
Would be a massive result for AlphaTauri, and he's 3rd!
3rd!
Right behind his teammate Domi. Obviously, Guil finished 3rd in the last race, so that's a familiar position for him. Wexham is holding up, so no, he's not driving anymore, that's what I want to say.
And Lars, maybe he can improve. Yeah, but not pretty much. He's now 6, from 7 to 6.
Domi lost a little bit of time in sector 1. Liam puts himself up into P5, the pole setter from last race, and Domi... Yeah,
and
he made some
Maruzaru
mistake.
goes into the top 10 from, I think it was 11th or 12th.
Yeah.
To P9.
Yeah, that's quite good. Many drivers are retiring, obviously they won't do any more laps, but let's see if Domi can improve. Improved on sector 2, and also we have Caden Forbes, the driver who set the fastest lap in the last race, but he doesn't improve anymore. Let's see if Domi... No, he won't also improve, so that's quite interesting.
I think that it is.
No, I don't know. Guil won't set another lap time. Lars is doing a lap time, but he's very slow. So Goku, let's see, he doesn't improve. So that means Wexham will get his first pole position in the second Global F1 race, and this will be the first pole position for Alfa Romeo in this season. So that means 2 Ferrari-powered cars on pole in 2 races. First we had Liam last week, and now we have Wexham.
Second place goes to Domi, and third, Caden Forbes. Better than last time.
So Domi currently the only driver in the short history of Global F1 who started in the front row of the grid in every race. He started in P2 also in last race, so maybe he won't get pole position, but he will get P2 consistently, so yeah, that's good to see. But Caden Forbes, strong qualifying from the McLaren driver, 3rd place. Like I said, he got the fastest lap in the last race, and I think he finished P7, if I'm not mistaken, last race. Yeah, he finished P7 in the last race. In the championship, he is 7th, obviously. 1 point behind Björn, and that is a surprise that Liam only P5. That's a big surprise, actually. Here we have the lap times. Wexham closely ahead of Domi, then we have Caden Forbes, Guil, then Liam, Sebo. Christmas... 0.02 of a second behind Sebo, actually. Then we have Lars, Maruzu, World Rally, and Kurax. These are the only drivers within a second. 0.6 seconds between them. Then we have Kern, Goku, Konov, and Maxi, who didn't set a lap time, crashed out at the beginning of qualifying. And yeah, We'll now
P1 to P9 is in half a second.
Half a second, actually. Okay. So, top 11 within a second and top 9 even within half a second. So, that shows you how competitive the field of Global F1 is. And now we are
crazy.
Now we are going into the race with another front row start for AlphaTauri, the current leaders in the Constructors' Championship. And yeah, we are now waiting for the first Dutch Grand Prix in the history of the Racing Liga. And what a surprise it will be from Global F1. That's good to see. But the Racing Liga... no, actually, I think the GP4 will host the very first Vietnam Grand Prix in a couple of weeks. I think in 2 weeks, actually, from now on.
2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think in 2 because I think it's the third race of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that means
yeah, I'm not sure.
So that means in 2 weeks when we race the next time, we'll have the Vietnam Grand Prix for the first time. And we have 2 drivers on hards, 2 drivers on mediums, and the rest on softs. No, actually we have now 3 drivers on hards, as Konov put on the hard tires, and he's now changing to softs, so yeah. Let's see what he wants. I don't actually know. Okay. Like I said, 2 mediums, 2 hards, and the rest with soft tires. So Kurax and Kohn on the slowest tire. Now everyone is ready and we are going to the beautiful formation lab.
The top 10 has no choice.
Yeah, obviously. I think that's the rule since... I don't know, since 2011. Obviously we have the qualifying format with 3 qualifying sessions since 2006. But we had a spin-off for 2 races where we had an elimination qualifying for each position, and they screwed that up after the second race. So, but since 2006 we have this elimination qualifying with 3 qualifying sessions, and I don't know if they have made the tire rule since 2011. Obviously, the top 10 drivers who qualified with their set in qualifying 2 aren't allowed to use a new set of tires in the race. So that means the drivers from P11 to P15, they have quite an advantage with their new tires. Yeah, I can be excited. We have the predicted pit stop strategy, so we have a 1 stop strategy with soft and hard tires, and then of course we have a 2 stop strategy with 1 pit stop for soft tires and 1 pit stop for medium tires. But as you saw with the drivers from P11 to P15, some of them have hard tires and some of them have medium tires, so this can change. But yeah, we have now 36 laps, so 50% race distance for the second race. I'm quite excited actually. I don't know if you are excited.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited because the last race it was close until the last lap.
Yeah.
And everything is possible. We see the pace in qualifying. They are in half a second from P1 until P9. It's crazy.
1980. Yeah.
Nowhere in Racing Liga that have ever been.
Yeah. 1985, Niki Lauda. He was the last winner at this circuit, and he obviously took his last win on the circuit. And here we go for the second race of Global F1. We are on the way in Zandvoort. Great start from Maxim. A bad start for... Oh, we have this glitch on the board again. We are go now into turn 1. Caden Forbes had a great start. He's now in P2. But Maxim holds the lead for the current moment. And they are going very fast currently. So we have an Alfa Romeo in the lead. Then we have a McLaren in second. 2 AlphaTauris in P3 and P4. Then we have a Red Bull, 2 Renaults, and then we have a Ferrari of Liam.
Oh, and the Renaults were side by side.
And now Liam is overtaking Christmas. He's now into 7th place. On what Rally is now overtaking around the outside of Christmas. What an overtake from World Rally! Around the outside of this corner. I've never seen an overtake like this on the circuit, and I've seen a lot of overtakes on this circuit. Wow. I mean, that takes some balls. Sorry to say that, but Maxi had,
now the timing board is correct,
yeah,
I think.
But Maxi had a terrible start. He's way down the other end. He has front wing damage, actually. With many position changes.
Christmas is into the pit.
Yeah, and Caden Forbes is ghosted currently. So Vexum holds the lead at the moment. Then we have Caden Forbes in second, Domi in third, Guil in fourth place. Then we have Lars, Liam, and Christmas. This is the order. So the leaderboard is currently not correct, it's a bit incorrect. But it will change when we reach lap 4. But we are seeing now the fight for second place. Caden Forbes is not ghosted anymore. But Vexum only needs to hold this gap. And then he has a chance to get his first race win. So let me change that a bit here.
Vexum has just driven a little gap there between him and the McLaren. Pretty good. Don't know if the timing table is right, but when it is right, 1.3 seconds, he's already out of the DRS zone.
And he's driving the fastest lap with a 1:11.8. So he's given everything, and Domi's now attacking Caden Forbes. But Caden Forbes is defending like hell, and he's in second place still. So this will be a quite interesting battle here for second place. And Caden Forbes has the 2 AlphaTauris right behind him. And quite interestingly,
and
Liam...
Kulix has been in the pit.
Yeah, he is now way down into 13th place. And quite interestingly, Liam's still only in 7th place. So that's
He's
quite
struggling
surprising.
a little bit.
Yeah. They're with the
He
helicopter
lost 2
cam.
positions.
Yeah. So that's quite a surprise. The winner of the start is Kornov, who started in P14 and is now currently running in 9th place. And I think now the drivers have DRS. They can activate that. And Caden Forbes, I thought he was driving into the pits, but he isn't. So with the DRS zones, it's quite hard to overtake here. And Liam put up a move into P6, right ahead of Lars. There was near contact between the 2 drivers, but he got that position. And he's now catching Sebel.
And
the driver
has already 1.5 seconds to the second place.
Yeah, and we have a yellow flag here, and Kurax has left the session. I think he has given up because he has gone to the pit so many times that he was quite aggressive about that. So quite a shame to see that from the Mercedes. That means we have only 14 runners left. But what I wanted to say, Liam is now chasing Sebel, a guy he knows very well from GP1 and I think the Lead League, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, these two have given us a great show for a couple of races now in the last season, and maybe we'll get that again in this season.
Oh! Maybe Caden Forbes.
Oh my
He
goodness!
made a mistake.
Oh my goodness!
Out of the last corner.
No
He's
damage to
dropping
him. No damage to him, but he's now dropping into 8th place, and I'm sorry for the viewers that I didn't have the footage there. That's my bad, but obviously I tried to do everything I can. It's not like
And now we have the 2 AlphaTauri and second and third place.
So 2 AlphaTauris again on the podium, both like in the last race. So like in GT Sport where I have the replay function, unfortunately we don't have that here, so we have to rely on what we are seeing here. So apologies for that. But like I said, we are doing our best. But now we are watching Sebel, who's catching both the AlphaTauris.
Yeah, and Liam right behind. He's back in 5th and now waiting to go forward.
But Sebel, one of the fastest drivers. Maybe we can see something great from him. Christmas actually was the driver who lost the most positions at the start. He started, I think, in 7th place and is now down into 13th. But I think he made a pit stop if I'm not mistaken. And he did. Okay, that explains.
Yeah, he did.
So that's good to see that. But the fastest lap came from Wexham with a 1:11.8.
Yeah.
Oh,
nobody can keep up with them.
Yeah, massive luck up from Bull here.
Wexham is on fire.
It's great to see that Sebel can catch up and Liam can't catch up to Sebel. That's quite interesting.
No.
He's
outside of keep up with them.
He's outside of the DRS window. Quite surprised about that.
And right behind is the run of Lars.
So we have quite some battles here. But Domi isn't catching up Wexham. Wexham is on a mission right now to win in his first Global F1 outing. That's a quite impressive run he's doing here right now. But Domi is catching up a little bit on the last sector, 1/10. But still a lot of time he needs to gain. And he doesn't have many laps left. We have 30 laps to go, so he needs to catch up very fast. But also needs to watch out to the guys behind him. Guil we are on board with, and Sebel of course. And Sebel is catching.
But I don't think that Guil is a real danger for him because they are teammates. I think there's a team strategy.
With the tires, obviously the drivers run 6 laps now with their current tires, except for the drivers who pitted, which are Christmas and Maxi. Christmas pitted 4 hard tires.
The gap is already 2.2 seconds
How is
between Domi and
Wexham
Wexham.
doing that? I mean, that's an impressive outing from Wexham currently. So he could be one of the main contenders for the championship. Or it's a one-off appearance for him.
Is struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
His teammate is catching up.
And Guil is taking second
and his
place.
teammate is passing him.
Yeah, I think team strategy here. Guil is obviously currently faster, so maybe he tries to get the leader. And on the same time, we have Caden Forbes who got, I think, down the inside of World Rally and get him up into 7th place at the moment. But yeah, Guil now has to do the job and closes the gap between him and Wexham, because that's a real danger now. And also at the same time, Domi has to protect Guil from not being attacked by Sebel.
And Sebel needs to think about an undercut because he's right behind the 2 AlphaTauris. That's an opportunity for him.
Yeah, but like we saw with the predicted pit stop, between lap 10 and lap 14 you can pit for hard tires, but maybe also the drivers think about pit stop for medium tires. And while Sebel is catching Domi, he's been catched by Liam a little bit, so we shouldn't left Liam under the radar and maybe look at him in the later stages of the race. So the important thing for the AlphaTauris is to keep up the pace and to not be catched by other drivers. Marusso is in the pits now. Marusso, sorry. And he is pitting for a new set of, I think, yeah, correct, hard tires. So 1 lap earlier than the predicted pit stop strategy. And Liam is now attacked by Lars. Lars is now catching and catching, so he will be a real threat for Liam.
Yeah. Yeah, but Guil can't catch Wexham.
And neither can Liam catch Sebel, so that's quite interesting. So some of the drivers are losing time when they're catching. So I think once you're outside of the DRS window, you can push and build a gap here. that's the advantage for Wrexham at the moment and the advantage for Sebel. So Liam needs to pull out some incredible lap times to catch Sebel. And if you look at Lars, he lost also a little bit of time. Going with Dummy on board. Oh, on board with Dummy, sorry. But on the same time we have the fight for P7 between Caden Forbes, World Rally and Kornoff. Dummy is getting now pressure from Sebel. Sebel's closing. Oh, he made a little mistake there. It's quite interesting race at the current state. Maybe we see one crash and things like that, so this can change everything, pretty much.
And I'm not sure if anybody can keep up with Wrexham.
Yeah, Wrexham is really putting in some lap times. If we look at the fastest laps, he's the only driver to get a 1:11.8. The fastest behind him was Sebel, who put in a 1:11.9. And no wonder
we have Ferrari, no, Alfa Romeo, yeah, Ferrari.
We have Liam, Lars,
in the pit.
yeah, we have Liam, Lars, Caden Forbes, and Kornoff in the pits, pitting all for a new set of hard tires. And that brings the two racing points to P5 and P6. But Goku on the medium tires also hasn't pitted. Neither has Cohen, nor has World Rally. These are the last three drivers in the group of drivers who haven't pit yet.
And yeah, the horse of Cohen started on the hard tire.
Yeah.
He's now in front.
So we will pit later. Oh, massive lockup from Ghoul here. But let's watch about Liam, because he could pull out an overtake and Cohen is letting him through. Probably the right decision for Cohen. Obviously he's not fighting these guys at current state. Wrexham is in the pit, also is Dummy. That means Ghoul is leading now this race. And Dummy needs to hope for a good pit stop to catch up a little bit. But Wrexham is still in the lead of this race. He's coming out side of the pits in P3.
Both managed to be in front of the racing points.
And ahead of Liam still. Liam needs to catch up Goku, otherwise he won't catch up Sebel or Ghoul here.
Yeah. And I think Ghoul and Sebel are changing tires this lap.
I don't know,
maybe Ghoul is waiting for the medium tire.
Yeah, this could be also an option.
So splitting maybe the strategy.
Yeah, everything is possible there. And we have a fight here between Caden Forbes and World Rally.
Wheel staying out, and
Yeah.
Sebel staying out too.
But nothing has changed there. Last over to Cohen here. Oh, Cohen! He struggled a little bit here. But everything is fine for him. And the two leaders are still out. Wrexham has only a 12-second gap to Sebel, so he will be in the lead again if Sebel pits. And Christmas set the fastest lap of the race with a 1:11.7 on hard tires. So he's putting pressure to Wrexham, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm not sure.
You never know with Global F1. Everything can change.
But it's a pretty big gap between Christmas and Wrexham. Christmas needs crazy pace.
But hang on a second, he did that with worn tires. I mean that's shocking to see. That's shocking to see, actually.
And now World Rally is passing the horse of Cohen.
Yeah, Cohn is really struggling, but obviously he will have the fresh tires at the end of the race. Maybe the mediums or the softs, I don't know.
Yep. Let's see if Guil is pitting. No. Sabel, no.
But Sabel is catching Guil here. And Domi puts now the fastest lap of 1:11.704, and he has pitted.
And he is putting pressure on Wexham.
Yeah, and
gap is only 1.6.
Yeah, before the pit stop it was 2 seconds.
2 seconds, 2.1, something about that.
Could we change the? Could we see a change in the lead pack of the race? Maybe, I don't know. But what I know is Lars and Goku are fighting.
Goku is under pressure from Lars. Oh, side by side.
That's a bold move here from Lars, but he couldn't make it, obviously. Goku closed the door.
That was a little bit too much.
You have to be more patient with overtakes like this.
That was not the right place.
Oh, we have a yellow flag here and it's Christmas! Oh my goodness. That was pretty close. Okay, Christmas spun at the end of sector 2.
No damage. And we have Sabel in the pit.
For medium tires.
Yeah,
let's
and
see.
Guido staying out.
Let's see if he stays ahead of Liam. It's really pretty close between the two drivers. But Sabel is still ahead.
That was very close.
Nearly crossed the exit line of the pits, which would have resulted into a penalty maybe. But yeah, Liam gained a little bit of time, and Domi is catching Wexham and could maybe end up in the DRS zone later on. I'm quite worried about Wexham now. He could lost all the lead he had before, so maybe he's not very good with the hard tires.
And Christmas is now passing Mazuru.
Got a yellow flag, and that's Caden Forbes. Wing damage. Oh, he needs to watch out here. And Caden Forbes out of contention for a podium, maybe. Oh, yeah. What a shame for the McLaren.
And now we have Guil in the pit. Can he stay in front of Sabel?
Obviously from medium tires, so you were correct with him. That was a fast pit stop.
Let's go. Sabel is on the straight.
Domi set a new fastest lap of the race. And he's now in the DRS
Sabel
window.
is passing Guil.
Wow. That will annoy Liam, for example. We have another yellow flag, and there is Williams, and that's Maruzero. And he spun at the final turn. Oh my goodness.
Like Caden Forbes. I think they made the same mistake.
No.
Because Caden Forbes...
Not in the same corner.
But no, Caden Forbes spun at the beginning of the race, at the final corner.
Oh right, I remember now. I forgot about that.
He spun already twice.
Yeah, but in the first spin he didn't have wing damage.
But it's very interesting because we have now two AlphaTauris, and between there's a Red Bull, and the one AlphaTauri is on the hard tire and the other is on the medium tire.
Not only that, Domi is catching now Wexham, and he's in DRS. He has DRS, I mean.
Yeah.
He's in the DRS window. Sabel takes the fastest lap of 1:11.4. So they're putting all pressure on Wexham. That's quite interesting to see.
Yeah.
What Reddy's in the pit. And he's losing many positions there.
Let's see if Wexham is patient enough for this pressure.
We've got the yellow flag again, and I think there was a Ferrari who made a little mistake there.
No, I don't. I think it was the Williams, a little bit in the gravel.
Was it Williams? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
And Sabel is now in range with the DRS window, so the drivers with the medium tires, I think they have, for the current state, the better strategy, but will lose some time at the end of the race, so they need to catch up right now. So that means we will have 4 drivers fighting for the lead in this race, which is massive. I mean, Sabel is now in the DRS window, so this race could be quite interesting at the end stage. I don't know. Maybe we see some outstanding overtakes. But fact is, Liam and Guil are catching up the leaders.
Yeah.
Whilst Tommy is catching the leader. So that means Wexham is losing most time out of these 4 drivers, so he needs to be consistent, not damaging his tires, and Maxi
there's
spun.
Maxi. I think Maxi is... Yeah, Maxi spun. No front wing.
So Maxi with a disastrous race.
Yeah.
Right down in P14. Needs to be very
now
careful.
He needs to look out, because the leader is right behind him.
Yeah, and he's ghosted, okay. Good decision from him.
Yeah.
And he stopped and he's letting his teammate Liam through. So that's quite embarrassing for Maxi. Obviously, don't think he wanted to. He didn't expect that result. Meanwhile, Kane Forbes set the fastest lap for 1:11.2, and Maxi has a disastrous race at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think he will give up very soon. Right, onto level. Right onto lap 19. With Wexham in the lead, only 0.3 seconds ahead of Domi, then Sebel in third, Guil in fourth. This is the lead pack, and then we have Liam in fifth with a 3-second gap behind Guil. That's the top 5. So Liam, not the result we thought about.
And Domi is putting pressure onto Wexham. He's a little bit faster on the hard tires.
Let's go on board with Sebel again. He's really putting the pressure onto these 2 drivers, so they need to be very careful. Maxi is retired in the pit.
Yeah.
So that means the second retirement of this race. Where the Racing Points changed their position.
Yeah, I think that was a team decision.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Because they passed each other after turn 4, I think that is. 3 or 4.
Guil could attack Sebel now. He set the fastest lap of the race and he puts a move around on the inside. That was a bold move from him. And he passed without damage. Guil now up into 3rd place. What a move from the AlphaTauri. That was quite surprising. But I think
now
he needs
can catch up to his teammate.
And this shows how much he wants to probably win this race. He's faster than anyone at the moment. He nearly set a 1:10 in this race. I mean, that's outrageous. What he's doing now. Outstanding performance from Guil here.
Yeah.
That was
a very good performance from the whole team. They have 2 cars into podium positions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good.
And Guil could now catch his teammate Domi. Domi could let Guil pass. He obviously let Guil pass once in this race, and maybe it's the second time now. He's on the fresher tires and the faster tires, but he's not overtaking his teammate. But look at the gap Guil has now from Sebel, 0.7, and on the straight it was 0.9 seconds. So Guil is on a mission right now. I mean, that's a big surprise. I didn't expect from him to be that fast. He is a very fast driver, no doubt about that, but he's that fast. I mean, that's... I have no words for that.
Outstanding performance. And we have Williams.
Yeah, my reserve was that.
He was in the gravel again. And Liam is struggling to keep up with the leading pack.
Yeah, that's also a big surprise.
Alone.
That's shocking. Last race he was fighting for the lead, he had the pole position, and now he's not even catching the leaders. I mean, that's very big surprise. But another surprise we have here, we're on board with him is Guil now. Once you can watch the battle between Christmas and Kornhoff, there that was it. Oh, we have a yellow flag and yeah. Maruzuru retired in the pits. That's the 3rd retirement we have in this race. Only the top 12 left. Oh, everyone locked up here in turn 4. But Green needs to catch up even faster because his tires will make some problems right at the end. If he isn't patient enough, if he isn't fast enough. But he also needs to be patient not to make crashes and things like that.
And maybe the AlphaTauri team has to make a decision.
Yeah, obviously.
If we can pass Domi, then he can maybe attack Wexham.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the only chances they have to attack Wexham here, because Domi won't catch up Wexham. They're on the same tires. So the only chance maybe is for Domi to let Gul pass. But Gul lost a little bit on the exit here. And he has not much ERS left, so he needs to save that. And he was...
Or waiting for a mistake from Wexham. But that's...
Quite interestingly, Gul was lifting at turn 1 a little bit. With the yellow flag, Konov is the next driver to retire. Did he we have a safety car!
That's crazy.
That will be good for Liam. But what happened to Konov? Okay, he spun at the last corner. So that's actually good for World Rally, for example. We were on board with him. He's the first driver to pit in the safety car phase. Now everything gets interesting now. So the question is, if the leaders are pitting now for soft tires. Wexham built a gap here, but I think he needs to slow down. So I think everyone will pit for softs now. We have 12 laps to go in this race, but... 12 laps? No, sorry. 14 laps. 14 laps. Was a mistake from me. Safety car in this race, I don't believe it. I really don't believe it.
I don't think that we have a closed pit lane. Like on Sunday.
No, the car of Konov is obviously now thrown away. Oh,
and Sebel is staying out.
Oh my goodness, they need to double stack at AlphaTauri and this will hurt Gul. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness,
and Sebel is staying out
Ooh.
On his medium tires.
But luckily for Gul, he's still right behind his teammate and hasn't been overtaken. But like you said, Sebel is staying out. He's still staying out with the medium tires, so he hopes he has enough laps to hold the lead. Like I said, most of the drivers are pitting for soft tires. In fact, everyone except Sebel has pitted for soft tires. So Sebel, the only driver with no pit stop, and this will hurt his race a lot. I don't think he will have a good enough pace at the end.
I don't think that he can keep up with everybody.
Oh man, that's... So that means we'll have a quite interesting race at the end.
That was maybe not a very good decision from him.
Yeah, but I don't know, maybe he's waiting for mistakes from other drivers, but if he pits now, he will end up maybe behind Lars or even behind Christmas. Okay, we have one Red Bull in the lead, one Alfa Romeo in second, then two AlphaTauris, then a Ferrari, then the two Renaults, a Racing Point, a Haas, then another Racing Point, and Caden Forbes currently the only driver who will get 0 points at the end of this race if he finishes P11. So if we have another driver retiring from this race, every driver who finishes will get points. Interestingly.
No, we have 11 drivers on the board.
Yeah, if another driver retires, everyone who has finished.
Okay.
That's what I said. I thought I was saying the wrong thing.
Sorry.
But yeah, no problem. No problem.
Very interesting, but I don't think that the Devil can keep up with the others on the soft tires.
Also, we have the safety car phase next race in 2 weeks for Global F1 will be in Monza, where we had the incredible race on Sunday. Obviously, Gasly won ahead of Sainz and Stroll in a chaotic race. Maybe we have the same chaotic race in 2 weeks. I don't know. It's quite. I don't know. It's not. I think we won't have a crazy race like this, but yeah, you never know.
Yeah, maybe.
And after
There
that,
are
and after
long
that,
DRS zones and yeah.
so we have Monza next, and after that we are returning to Spielberg in Austria.
And safety car in this lap.
So that means we'll get back to racing action. The question is if Sebel can hold the lead in the last 11 laps. We have 12 laps to go now and 11 laps when we start again. And Wrexham is preparing the restart. Unfortunately, we won't have a standing start. It's quite a shame, but I don't think for a yellow flag we will have a standing start, only for red flags. And now we are racing again. There were several drivers with a penalty. Oh! Sebel spun!
Sebel crashed! Standing
I don't believe what I'm
direction.
watching. And he's now dropped into last place.
Crazy.
I mean,
and we have Wrexham
outrageous.
on the first position, and Domi and
Sebel in
Guille
the
back
pits.
and
Oh,
second
man.
and third.
Overheated his tires probably. And he's now pitting for soft tires, and he has a gap of over 20, nearly 30 seconds. I don't know how he will catch up this. And Liam is now in 4th place and could even end up on the podium if he overtakes Guille. How the tables
Wrexham
have turned.
is again on fire on the soft tire.
Yeah, that's probably the tire he's in love with. Because he's putting incredible lap times with it. And Domi, I don't know if he will catch up Wrexham. It doesn't look like that. It's unlikely that he will overtake him in this lap. Otherwise Wrexham will make a mistake, but he doesn't. Let's see what Wrexham can
And
do.
the Torenos are in good
My
positions.
goodness, a 1:10.3. That's 1.1 seconds faster than his previous best lap time. That's just incredible. But Domi's catching up a little bit, so we shouldn't give up on him. We have 10 laps to go, so 10 lap sprint race. Where the winner is not decided yet, but like I said many times before, it's hard to overtake on this circuit. And Sebel, the only driver currently who won't get any points. He could snatch the fastest lap, but yeah.
He was in such a good position, and then everything changed. He didn't change tires. He messed up at the start.
One little
Crazy.
mistake. Yeah. Like I said, how the tables have
Two
turned.
mistakes. He didn't change tires, and he messed up at the start. I don't know what he was thinking about that. Crazy.
Yeah, losing everything with one single mistake on the track. There you have it. DRS is now enabled. The closest gap we have is between Christmas and Lars, fighting for 5th place. But they are on the same team. So Renault with a great performance, second best team today. And I think they could overtake Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship and putting themselves up, I think, in P2. So they are on fire right now.
Yeah.
Settle now a 1.9.9, so the first driver below the 110s, but obviously he is currently outside of the points position, so that means no one would take the extra point for the fastest lap, so he needs to finish inside the top 10. That means he needs to overtake Goku. He's catching up massively, but I don't know if he can do it.
Yeah, and the two runners can't keep up with Liam.
And not only that, Rock Rally is closing on Christmas. Rod Rally has the closest gap between the driver ahead of him and himself. No driver has a closer gap currently. But everyone is locking up and damaging their tires. And quite surprised. Oh, we have a yellow flag. Goku has retired out of the race. Goku's crashing out. That means Sebel will get 1 point in this race. Oh, massive crash.
Into the pit wall.
Massive crash. And now we have only 10 runners left, which means everyone who will finish gets points.
And Sebel gets the point for fastest lap. For the fastest lap. I can't.
Which means he will get the same amount of points as Kane Forbes, who finishes in P9 at the current state. But things can change very much. We have 5 drivers retired, with 2 of them crashing out and 3 of them retiring the car in the pits. The 3 retiring in the pits were Kurax, Maxi and Maruzeru. And the 2 drivers crashing out were Konov and, like you saw a couple of seconds ago, Goku. And
Wrexham can't open a gap between him and Domi.
So we have the 2 leaders fighting again, so like I said, don't give up on Domi. And the 2 Renaults are fighting now. Side by side, they're alongside into turn 3. Don't crash out, guys! And Lars has done it. He has kept the position ahead of Christmas, so maybe they need to do a team decision here, but otherwise... On the other hand, they're fighting for the drivers' championship.
Pushing. He's on the outside.
Oh, crash between the drivers. Not a massive crash, but they made contact. Oh, and
contact again, and he spun!
What are you doing, guys?
Your teammates!
That do not hit your teammates. It's rule number 1 in motorsport. It's the most important rule. I don't believe it. I can't believe what I'm watching here.
It's like Sebastian Vettel in the Red Bull.
No, it's more like Perez and Ocon.
Yeah,
that's what I. And now we have Caden Forbes and Cohn fighting, and they have a 7-point gap between themselves and World Rally. What has happened there between the Haas and the Racing Point? Now Caden Forbes, he's attacking Cohn right now, but I don't know if he will do an overtake. No, he won't.
He's not close enough.
This race has changed massively. And we are not finished yet. We have 6 laps.
And Domi is staying right behind.
Yeah, Christmas has given up. Obviously, I think it's quite understandable, but I don't know if he gets the point or not. But I think he won't also care. At 2 laps before the collision, I said Renault would get many points. I jinxed it, basically. I'm sorry for that. Yeah. Renault's one of the 2 teams I very much support, so I'm very sad about that. The other's Alfa Romeo. And Sebel now will have 3 points at the end of the race. So with each lap, Sebel is catching up 1 position. But not because of the overtakes, because of the crashes. Or each second lap, let's say that. But jokes aside, we have World Rally, who's catching up Lars and could end up into P5. So not only is he catching 1 Renault, but he could overtake the 2nd Renault. Don't crash, guys. Don't crash. It's very close between the two drivers. This could be very interesting between the 2. But also the fight between the AlphaTauris could be interesting. So I don't know what the strategy of the 2 will be. And right behind the 2 drivers we are on board with, we have to fight between Cohn and
Forbes tried it into the 3rd or 4th corner, I don't know how it's... But Liam can't keep up with the leading pack. He's falling back a little bit.
Okay, that's good to know. So what
and Wrexham tries to get out of the DRS range.
I think I will stay with the leading pack. But otherwise I will stay a little bit with World Rally. And Wrexham has a very good exit out of the final turn. And now change. Oh, what's happened here? Kane Forbes dived through the inside, but he lost a little bit. I think he has wing damage. Yes, he has wing damage. Front right. And is he pitting? No, he's staying out. Good decision from him. I think he will stay out until the end of the race. Until this race, I don't think he wants to lose any more points. The fight between the leaders is now getting closer and closer. Last race we had a duel between the leader and second place, and now we have a three-way fight for the lead and for the race win. We have the 2 AlphaTauris and 1 Alfa Romeo, so 3 Italian cars. In fact, 4 Italian cars are leading, 2 with Honda engine and 2 with Ferrari engine. And it will be AlphaTauri again with both cars on the podium if they are staying there. They could crash out, maybe. The race proved that.
Yeah, but it's looking pretty good, and they had a team decision at the start of the race. I don't think that they will crash into each other.
Kane Forbes got down the inside of Cone and takes 7th
And Domi
place.
is gaining on Wrexham.
So we have to fight for the win on the last 3 laps. And the chat can right now, who is your driver of the day? Would be quite interesting to see your answers. And we have Liam, I said, Kane Forbes and Cohen fighting, and no one has wing damage, luckily. Stay with that here, what I'm having now. What an interesting race. But Wrexham, always in the DRS zone, Wrexham has a better exit. Liam could catch up, but he doesn't. Quite interestingly. Right. 2 laps to go. Oh! Wrexham was on the grass. Domi has the chance now to take the lead. Can he do it? Around the outside into turn 1. This will be a bold move if he does it. And he does it. Wrexham fights back, and then we have to change in the lead maybe. Oh, there was contact between the 2 drivers. And Domi gets the lead. But maybe
very good shot from Domi.
What a move.
But I think...
But Wrexham has to be patient there because Gould is right behind him, so he could be catched by both AlphaTauris.
Yeah, Wrexham is in the sandwich of the 2 AlphaTauris. And Domi, I think he's a little bit faster now. And Wrexham is struggling.
Oh my goodness, and Gould could take 2nd place in this race, and he does it!
And he is... No,
AlphaTauri leading with both cars in this race. Unbelievable. And not only that,
have only 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go.
Meanwhile, World Rally overtook Lars, and there was a change again. We have now the final lap. The championship leader Domi could become still the only winner of this championship with his 2nd win in a row. Gould now in 2nd place. He finished 3rd in the last race. Wrexham with his 1st outing. He had a impressive race, but there were 3 laps he wasn't leading, I think, outside of the safety car. One of these laps is this lap, now the final lap, which counts the most. And this could be...
It's not only 1 mistake, 1 little mistake, and he lost 2 positions.
And he's losing now out to Goose, so that means we could see the first 1-2 finish in the history of Global F1 in only the 2nd race, and it's the leaders of the Constructors' Championship maximizing the points here. That's unbelievable from the 2 drivers.
They're gonna extend their lead.
Massive respect to these 2 drivers, and Domi will be the first winner in Zandvoort in the history of the Racing Liga, and they are entering now the final two thirds in this outstanding race, and we are now at the start finish line. Domi gets the 2nd win in the 2nd race ahead of Gould. It's a 1-2 finish for AlphaTauri. Wrexham in 3rd. Liam couldn't get the podium, he finished in 4th place. Lars takes 5th ahead of World Rally, who's crashing out at the end, my goodness. And then we have Cohen in 7th place until the penalties we decide something. With Caden Forbes in 8, maybe he could catch them. Oh, Cohen is letting Caden Forbes through, so maybe there was contact between the 2 drivers. And Sebel takes 8th place at the end. So 5 points for Sebel. He took Cohen at the end. And driver of the day becomes World Rally. Okay, I think he gained the most positions. That's what driver of the day is. But what a race! I mean, we had several crashes. We had the lead change of the final lap, and we have a 1-2 finish for AlphaTauri. I mean, that's massive. I don't know what to say, to be honest. Here's your podium. I think this will be now a standard picture with AlphaTauri winning. They won last week, they won in the real world in F1 with Pierre Gasly, and now they have a 1-2 finish here. Outstanding.
That was a crazy race. Very good race.
I mean, Wrexham lost it all at the end, but yeah, what can we say? I mean, we were lucky to witness this race. And here's the end result. Domi in first, Gül in second. Like I said, the 1-2 finish for AlphaTauri. They had the perfect strategy at the end. Wrexham in third, Liam in fourth, Lars in fifth. Then we have World Rally in sixth, Ken Forbes in seventh, Sebel taking 8th place ahead of Cohn because of the penalties. And the non-finishers are Christmas, Goku, Kornhoff, Maruzuru, Maxi, and Kurax. That's the result. And Domi extends his championship lead. He took now 50 out of the 52 available points. The 2 points he didn't get obviously were for the fastest lap, but otherwise he had gained the most. Not gaining the most positions. He has the biggest gap, I think, in every league right now. He had the maximum points, that's what I wanted to say. I'm lost for words at the moment. What a crazy race we witnessed. I'm speechless.
Yeah, I think, very crazy.
I think that's what we can say. I don't know if we have a podium interview at the end or not, but... Oh, we still have it.
Yeah.
But I hope they think about sharing the voices. Or something you need to change.
That. Very good. Now we are waiting for the 2 others.
Or they're celebrating again too much, I don't know. That's what I said at the last race. But yeah, let's see. Otherwise, we have to ask Liam again. But he's maybe too angry with himself that he didn't get a podium, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't invite Liam because he wasn't in the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, I have to tell him after the race that he needs to tell the 2 AlphaTauris that they should go to the podium interview. But yeah, I don't know.
Invited them, but they didn't come.
Yeah, well...
Again.
Yeah, quite disappointing. But then we can talk with at least one driver, and that's the 3rd place driver in the Alfa Romeo's Wrexham. Yeah, Wrexham, I think you are quite disappointed with the result. You were leading most of the race, and then at the penultimate lap you lost the lead, and then you lost 2nd place. Are you disappointed with the result, or are you happy that you still managed the podium in this race?
I mean, I'm not pretty disappointed because I didn't practice that much, but at the end my tires were pretty much dead, and I expected them to come, and then I did some mistakes which cost me the win at the end. So I'm not fully disappointed, but I'm not entirely happy.
Yeah, obviously it was the first time racing at the circuit. How was it for you racing in Zandvoort? I mean, it's pretty new to all of us, or most of us, so how were your impressions about the race from your perspective?
For me it's more of a quali track than a race track, because they couldn't get past me anyways, but then they did at the end, but it's so hard to overtake around here, so it's not a really good racetrack, but for quali it's actually decent. As we could see in the quali, the gaps were quite close.
Yeah.
The next race will be Monza, obviously, in 2 weeks. Do you think you can perform a little bit better than today, or is Monza a circuit where you perform a little bit slower than here? What do you think?
I don't know. Obviously, the grid is really good, and
Yeah.
therefore every mistake can cost you. And Monza is a really hard track to hook up, so might be difficult to get a good lap. So I don't know. Maybe I can fight for a podium or a win, but I don't know. Everyone could in this league.
Yeah, we are really looking forward to it. I don't know what's up with the two AlphaTauris. Last week they didn't join the podium interview. This week also not. Quite sad, but maybe we'll have them next week if they end up on the podium. Right, but that's it for today. Thank you, Vaxum, for joining us at this interview. Thank you, thank you, Leo, for helping me out in this outstanding race. Like you heard before, in 2 weeks' time we'll race in Monza, and tomorrow we have the second race of the GP4, which will be at the Bahrain International Circuit, the first night race of the season, and maybe it will be a better race than Melbourne. Let's see. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like and subscribe to the Racing Liga channel to see more action with Formula 1 and Formula 2 cars. And we hope to see you tomorrow or for the Global F1 fans in 2 weeks.